Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Hope you're having a great life.
Here for our first Q&A.
This is the first Q&A, dude. We actually got like a decent amount of questions, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
And as you guys saw, and you can note that we have the new intro.
I am now an official namesake of the channel. So
yeah, we are now Andy and Alex. You can take that one to the bank. With that said, let's go and dive into some of these questions, my dude.
All right, so we have them written down here on my handy dandy device. We were going to put I'm going to read off the names, but I'm also going to put them up somewhere here.
Mm-hmm.
So, from Mardu Litke, what do you think of the future of rock music?
So, I think the future of rock music is just kind of like interesting because I feel like back in the 70s and 80s, it was like what's popular. So, it's like what was spoon-fed. So, to the masses. It's like what the record companies and like the man like spoon-fed to the people, right? Nowadays, and it's always been driven by younger people, you know? And nowadays, younger people, they want like more like electronic music, more like rap and just like hip hop, like stuff like that. So it's like we're not really being like spoon fed like that type of music. But with that said, there are like really good bands like Rival Sons and other bands like that are still producing great music. They're just not like spoon fed to it. So I do think there is people that will hold the torch for at least the next like while. I feel like.
What I think is that is that rock music, like any music, changes over time. So we're likely not going to see the same rock music we did. We might like an era like, you know, Queen or whatever, but we do see influences of them in the future, right? Mm-hmm. So there's tons of modern music that influences rock music now, and it becomes kind of an amalgamation. So you see rock music mixed with electronic, like you were saying, because you can't do the same music forever, right? My thought on always
you have to innovate. You have to innovate.
Yeah, you have to innovate. You have to get better. You have to grow. And there are a ton of new bands who do sound like older bands that sound great, and they just mix in modern influences. Mm-hmm. So I think the future of rock music is, I don't know, it's the future of music. It's probably going to be...
It's hard to tell really this early, you know?
But I think there will always be you'll always be able to find a band or a collection of artists that is good, is just different or breaking boundaries. Like he mentioned Rival Sons. There's a couple other bands like that are pushing in their own way. But it is a push. It's a difference. People didn't like bands that came out in the 70s because they liked 60s music, and people didn't like, you know, the 80s was bad compared to the 70s.
It's all progressive.
So it's all progressive.
I feel like it's definitely more like alternative rock is kind of like what's like being the most like commercially successful in terms of that, like at least the closest thing to rock is kind of like alternative rock is like what's kind of like doing it right now. All right, so yeah.
Okay, next one. Miss Fry, are there any bands or musicians that stand out to you? Okay.
Bands or musicians just like in general?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like just like along this journey, I've just come across like so many bands, you know, just like exploring Pink Floyd more, you know, just stuff like that, you know. Queen,
we mentioned Rival Sons, so I don't know if you're meaning more.
Yeah, I don't know if she means like modern music or like just any music in general.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I took it to mean modern music, like that stand out to you now. Of course, bands of old can stand out.
So
to
I
you.
feel like I've been kind of like I've been looking more to the older music so much to where I've kind of been like slacking and not really like keeping my eye out for a lot of modern music. Like he's been trying to show me like bands like Rebels and stuff like that, but I haven't like been like getting too much into it because I've been like too busy like trying to like play catch up. I feel like to where I haven't been like really exploring modern music that much. So
okay, so I've got I guess a few suggestions. So again, we said Rival Sons. That's of course a great one if you like Zeppelin or honestly, it's really if you like Zeppelin. If you want what's the new band that I'm not super crazy about? You know, the new one that sounds like the ripped off Zeppelin.
Oh, Greta Van Fleet.
Greta Van Fleet. Not a huge fan. If you want Greta Van Fleet with better musicianship and better songs, to me that's Rival Sons. Apart from that, there's a really cool band called the Crash Kings that I think are amazing. They don't really make tons of new music now, but they have a pretty good amount. I would suggest looking into them. And the Struts are always a good one. They're kind of a modern
of them,
Queen.
But I haven't like gotten into it.
I think you dig it. They're not my favorite, but they're cool. They're doing something cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else besides that. As far as musicians go, there's a drummer. He drums for a lot of rap artists, Tony Royster Jr., who's a phenomenal drummer. If you like drummers, if you want to look into that, he's a great one. As far as musicians go.
Nice. All right. Next question.
Oh, she's got a second one again from Miss Fry. If I gave you a hippopotamus as a gift, where would you hide it?
Okay, so I feel like the assumption in the question is that we're gonna hide it. So like, why exactly would we hide it? Like, honestly, you could probably like slap some armor on that thing, like ride it into battle, you know, like charge people to like take pictures with you with your hippopotamus. You could use it, capitalism.
It would definitely be my go-to.
Like, that's a pretty expensive gift. Like just a hippopotamus. Yeah, that's huge. But I guess if
I
was hiding it, I guess I would hide it in like my garage or something. I don't know.
Put a big blanket over it.
Yeah, nobody would know.
Why do you have a hippopotamus-shaped blanket? No reason.
Right. All right. Next one.
Okay. Obsidian Red. What will you be doing after you've completed your studies?
Well, so I'm going to school for computer engineering at USF, and I'm not like 100% sure, honestly. I just knew like going into college, I knew that I loved computers a lot and I loved math, and that was really all I knew. So like right now, I'm kind of just like learning as I go. I'm just like coding a lot, like a lot of circuitry, just like computer logic and design, just stuff like that. So I don't know, but I feel like everything in the future, in terms of like my field, will be more just like data management, data organization, like how like interfaces are like presented to like businesses and how it's like efficient for them to make it easy for everybody involved. Like that's just stuff like that, but I'm not 100% sure. So, yeah.
As far as me, probably research and development stuff. I mean, same sort of thing as him, where I love math and science. We met in Calc 3.
Yeah.
And so, something along that lines. I'm not quite sure where I will lead into that. I'm majoring in physics right now, specializing specifically in materials physics. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we'll see.
Hell yeah, dude.
From Maggie Jane. Are either of you in bands or have been in the past? If so, do you play covers or have you written your own music?
Yeah. All right, so I have not been in a band, but I've been playing guitar like on and off like for years now. And so that's been my big thing. I'm like slowly trying to like pick up the piano and drum stuff like that. And I like learned a lot of covers for myself, but I probably made like 3 of like my own songs, but nothing like too crazy. Now, Alex on the other hand,
yeah, that's kind of my forte, I guess. So I am in a band. You heard it in the intro. That was a snippet from one of our songs.
Yep, Field of Love.
Field of Love. So I'm in a band called Kings and Culprits. Spotify. I'm sure there'll be a link in the description if you want to go check us out. As far as covers, I mean, we've played covers. We have a bunch of originals. I'm specifically also a writer, so I not only write for my band, but I write for a bunch of other artists, and I write for what's called sync deals. So that's a source of income for me is writing for commercials and TV shows and whatnot and pitching songs to them. So yeah, that's my part of that.
Boom, bam. Hell yeah, dude.
Jay, what is your super band? And by super band, he means like keyboard player, maybe drummer, vocalist.
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like my super band is just like Pink Floyd, dude. Like, you have fucking like David Gilmour, on the guitar and vocals, Roger Waters on the bass and vocals. You have Richard Wright, on the keys and also vocals sometimes. And then Nick Mason just like the groove master on the drums.
Yeah.
I feel like just songs like Echoes and like certain songs, it's just like you hear them coordinating and it's like one like cohesive unit, and it's just like I wouldn't want it like any other way. So I feel like that is my super band.
Yeah,
personally.
I remember when I was younger, I really I thought about like the super band question was like, oh, who would you pick? Like, but the more I've gotten older, the more I'm realizing it's really not about the individual musicians. Like, it's about their cohesiveness as a unit. So, whereas in like basketball or whatever, you could get a bunch of players and you could just have a great team, or MLB, like you have a great team, you have a great team. I think for music, it's one of those things where if you don't, like, it's more about the connection between people. Yeah. So you could have whoever you think the best drummer is and the best vocalist all together, and it might be cool, right? But I don't know if they would have as good of music.
I'm not into sports that much, but I feel like one could argue that like there is like a sort of chemistry to like sports, especially things like basketball. I feel like baseball. Okay. I feel like baseball would be like a better example, like that analogy, because it's like if your batter can hit a ball, they're not like working together. But I guess like in the field they are. So I don't know. But I feel like there is chemistry there too. But I definitely with musicians, I feel like it's more like spiritual. Yeah. Like you have to like be like on that plane almost. Yeah. So I agree with you.
So yeah, Superman. I don't know if I have one.
Boom bam, dude.
All right, Boogs. Will this channel be mostly classic stuff?
Now, with that, I can't say like yes or no, because I don't exactly 100% know like the route that we're going to take. We're kind of like going as we go. We're trying to keep this like as genuine and like real as possible. Now, at the moment, we're definitely having like a lot of fun exploring a lot of this like classic like 70s like era, but we're definitely going to like not slack too much on like the 80s, the 90s, maybe some early like 2000s, maybe some modern stuff here and there. We don't exactly know. But like the 70s and the classical era is definitely like where we're like focused at the moment for the most part. As of right now.
I would hard agree. And I think again, we're not quite sure where we're moving forward from this. A lot of it is going to be growing with you guys. If you guys want us to push for a direction, we'll grow with you guys. I will say we've seen a lot of comments about even in one of the questions, show us music or bands that are new that that are good suggestions to listen to. I don't know what the study is, but after 25, you stop hearing about new music, right? Or you
stop like looking for it, basically.
You stop finding it.
You've already like solidified your bubble of like what you listen to. So it's like you can hear a good song, but it's like less likely to like stick with you as if it were when you were like 17 to like 20 something.
So I mean, I can see that as being possibly something we've talked about a little bit. Maybe doing like once a week or once every 2 weeks music suggestion. Like, oh, here's a new band that released some new music somewhere in the past 5 years or something that I think you guys would love. Yeah. So we talked about that. Maybe that'll be something we do, and that's not going to be classic.
Yeah, I feel like every once in a while, like in the future, we might be interested in like reviewing like just like newer bands that like maybe aren't like that big yet, just to kind of like see if they have what it takes, Because I feel like a lot of older like people have like a negative connotation towards like like
newer music,
and stuff like that, and maybe like maybe there are some gems that they might actually like if we like they gave it a chance, and maybe. They appreciate us, and maybe we can kind of like look at it together and like analyze it, like kind of like unbiased, and see how we feel about it.
So let us know in the comments if that's something that you'd want.
Yeah.
But cool. All right, next question. Spider-Man. If you could go back in time to any concert, who would you see and when?
Dude, I don't even know. Like that's just like I feel like that's such a like a hard question. Like I don't even know. You take it first. I can like, think about this.
So one of my all-time favorite bands is Led Zeppelin. So I would have loved to see Led Zeppelin. And they're a band that there are a few bands that I love that I haven't seen yet. But I feel like Zeppelin would, like on like the Song Remains the Same era, like maybe or like right after Physical Graffiti. I don't know the year of that. Mm-hmm. I think that would be killer, where they have all these amazing songs. They're kind of at the peak of their playing. They're one of the peaks of their popularity. So they're doing all these theatrics. They have these crazy live shows. I feel like Zeppelin in that era would be probably my top choice.
I feel like for me at this point, it would definitely be like Pink Floyd back when they were like a full band, like just like in like their peak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because at this point, so I saw Roger Waters. He went on like a Us and Them solo tour. I saw him play a lot of their popular songs, and it was a really good show. But like you definitely like you could feel that there was like a lot of like soul missing. You know what I mean? Because only have one of the members there.
Yep.
And me and Kaylin just went and saw Nick Mason with his Saucerful Secrets tour. And it was actually probably one of the best live shows I've ever seen, honestly.
Really?
It was just so good. Like, It was just an amazing show. But with that said, you're still kind of like missing certain elements. I feel like I really just...
if it was that good with just him...
I feel like I would just like have like really enjoyed just to see all of them together. But we can't now because Richard Wright, the keyboardist, has sadly passed away. So, yeah.
Good question. Ooh, he's got a follow-up. When is Alex getting a chair?
Alex?
I have seen you in the comments. Spider-Man is a real one. Always talking about that.
Spider-Man's looking out for you, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'll tell you right
Saving
now.
the city.
Alex is getting a chair when he buys himself a chair.
It's true.
Guys, that's the deal.
We need to. I tried to put it on him, but we need to make like a what is that, like a GoFundMe for Alex's chair.
If anybody wants to send us a chair, you drop your
Mail
email.
us a chair.
Drop your email. We'll figure it out. Send us a chair. We'll give you a shout out. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Sheik Yabudi. Given you both are into music and studying, what takes preference? A career in music or a career in studies?
See, that's such a hard question because like there's a whole sense of passion just like in music that will like always be there like no matter what. But there's also like a sense of like practicality where it's like you do want to play your role in society and you want to play your part. You want to be like a productive member. And I feel like computers is where I'd like to be. But I feel like definitely like when I see myself when I'm older, like like in my 30s and my career is solidified, I definitely see myself like playing like bar gigs with like a cover band, every other maybe like a weekend a month or every other weekend, something like that. I feel like that's definitely going to be in my future, like no matter what. Probably.
And it's something we've talked about because that's something that I did for a while, was playing bar gigs and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So it's super rewarding. It's a way to get a musical outlet. That's not that difficult to do. And I would suggest if anybody else is in a similar position where you really want to be in music in some way, that's a really good way to start. As far as me, I think they're so intertwined. Like I think a lot of the reasons that I'm good at writing and good at music are similar reasons why I'm good at math and science and all of that, physics. So at some point, to me, they wouldn't ever be a stationary thing. Even if I was a famous musician or a famous writer making all the money in the world from that, I would still likely go get a PhD and do some sort of research because I'm just passionate about them both.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
As far as what takes preference, well, currently we're in school, so that kind of has to take preference a little bit.
Yeah, we got to make money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there you go. You need degrees at this point.
So that's pretty much it. Besides writing, so but I don't think they're hugely mutually exclusive. Like I'll write on the weekends and study during.
If
the
you
week.
have good time management, you can definitely like afford to do both. If
Yeah.
you're like being careful with your time and being smart about it.
All right, Annie Anonymous asked if we were Canadian or American.
America.
Fatima Badira said, "What made you start your YouTube channel?"
So I started the YouTube channel probably, I think it was in like October, because at that point I had known Pink Floyd for like 2 years-ish at that point.
Yeah.
And I knew like a lot of like the peak era Floyd, like Wish You Were Here, Dark Side of the Moon, The Wall, all that kind of stuff. And I really wanted to explore older Floyd. And at that point I was watching a lot of reaction videos myself. Like I was watching all these people, like Hip Hop Head reacts to Pink Floyd for the first time, stuff like that. And I was having so much fun. I was like, well, why can't I do that? And then I was like, well, what would I do? And I was like, I could show my journey from the very beginning. So I started at Pipe at the Gates of Dawn and moved forward. And then after that, we kind of like expanded into like Black Sabbath, Queen, you know, like Deep Purple, just all these other bands now. And then my buddy Alex here loves music also, and we have all these amazing musical conversations, you know, separately. So I was like, fuck, let's have him on the channel. And then now here we are.
Yeah, and I wasn't on the channel from the beginning, but I mean, we're best friends. So when he came to me, he was like, man, I'm thinking about doing this YouTube channel. I'm thinking about doing this thing. I mean, it was something that we talked about for a while on. Mm-hmm. He had a bunch of people who were trying to get him to do other things. I know he had a friend who was saying to go to more modern music right off the bat. And we had a conversation where we were both like, you know, go with what you want to do. If you really want to go into Pink Floyd, if you want to be able to have that like video log of all of these your reactions to them the first time you hear them.
The thing is too, a big reason why I started was it's also for me, you know, because I feel like when I'm like 40, 50 years old and I want to like imagine being able to see yourself for the first time when you're 20, like listening to like a masterpiece.
Your favorite song,
like Echoes by Pink Floyd. Like I have like a video of me like for the first time with like a nice headset on, like listening to it, and I think it's kind of cool, you know. Maybe your kids would be interested.
It's
in
almost like a
time
capsule.
It really is, dude. So, it's like a record, like a log of your life. And music is like a passion thing for like almost everybody. So I think it's like kind of cool to have. Like, you know, I should probably have like a hard drive backup of all these videos.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, all right, next
one. All right, Mike Embleton. This is for me. Alex, if you were going into space and you could only bring one album and one movie, what would it be? Okay, one album. Oh, this is so hard. I'm gonna need your help with this.
One album?
One album. I know one movie.
I don't know. We're different people, dude.
One movie, Pink Floyd, The Wall. I really, really like that because that allows me to also listen to The Wall. So it's kind of two albums. So The Wall. As for a second album, I'm trying to think if I have an album that is like one that I love all the way through that I wouldn't get tired of. Like my worry is that I would pick an album and then like 5 years into it be like, fuck this album. I don't want to listen to this album anymore.
Right. That's fair.
And I also got to think, what would I be doing? Funny enough, honestly, I think it would be a jazz album. And I say that because I think that's something that I don't know enough about playing, and I don't know enough about that in general, but I really enjoy it. There's a group called the Vasai Cohen Trio. They're like a jazz band. And I don't listen too much jazz, but that is like my go-to study music. And so I feel like if I was trying to be productive in space and get home, I would need that to help push me. So that and The Wall. So I could be like, okay, weird Israeli jazz, and then Pink Floyd.
Fair. See, I'm so torn. So I think my answer for album is going to be Dark Side of the Moon. But the thing is, that's actually not even like my favorite. It's not my favorite Pink Floyd album. But I feel like in the end, it just has like every element of Pink Floyd that I appreciate in like one package, you know? So I don't know if that makes any sense. It's not my favorite album, but I do just like, I love it a lot, you know? I feel like it just like represents them well. Movie, I feel like it would have to be like Lord of the Rings, but I would take the whole trilogy. I'm cheating. It'd be the whole trilogy. I'm not taking just fucking.
Yo, we couldn't get to the end and be like, I know what comes next. I need to see it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Oh man, I also possible second choice for album, Abbey Road by the Beatles. Really, really amazing album, back to front. Like so. Okay.
100%.
Mike Hatcher, why don't you guys start a Patreon so people can pay to react to songs? I would pay for that.
So, I mean, I thought about it, and I feel like I wouldn't want to be, like, paid directly to, like, react to, like, a specific song. I feel like if we were to have a Patreon, it would be, like, something small, like $1 or $2 a month, and you would just get, like, early access to, like, a month ahead of videos or something like that, I feel like. But I'm not completely opposed to the idea. I just feel like I would feel kind of weird just, like, taking money to like react to a specific song. Yeah, so if that makes sense.
We've talked about this personally a bunch because it is something that is, you know, we don't monetize any of these videos because we can't. They're copyrighted songs. And we put a lot of time into this, and we would love to do more and put more into that, and that involves at some point probably Patreon.
Yeah.
We might explore some other options, but probably Patreon. But for one, we don't want to ever take things away just so you have to pay for they're paywalled. So we don't want to be like, oh, we'll go to your favorite song, but you have to pay us. Like that seems kind of
I think I would feel weird. I feel like it would definitely be more of like an early access type of thing, or maybe like Patreon specific polls where they would have like more influence on it.
We have talked about, and this is something that and again, so if there are things that you guys want, let us know in the description. Tell us because we might be overlooking something.
For sure.
One of the things that we talked about for sure. Sorry, feeling a little sick. Was there are some bands that we can't react to? So
yeah, like Led Zeppelin, Beatles. ACDC, and I haven't heard too much of like either of those bands. So it'd definitely be cool to like dive into it more.
So we really want to go.
And Billy Joel. We recorded a Billy Joel song. My first time hearing Piano Man. It was so good. And it was actually a really good video. I rewatched it the other day. And I tried to post on YouTube, but YouTube completely blocked it, so it kind of like sucked.
So this is what we thought about. Is for Patreon, this is a possibility for when we do that, is all the bands that we're not able to do on YouTube, you would get access to them. So having Zeppelin videos, Billy Joel, the Beatles, and it's not, we wouldn't feel as bad about that, I guess, because we literally can't share them with you.
There's like really no like other like logistical way to have like a platform to distribute it besides like that.
So if that's something you guys would be interested in, let us know, because that is something that we've talked about. And if there are other bands too, like that is a reason why we see the comments, we would love to do those bands, but it just is impossible.
Because if you get 3 copyright strikes on YouTube, your channel just gets taken down, no questions asked. Like you can't, really dispute it. You're just kind of done. And I've seen a lot of big channels, like reaction channels, that have actually gotten taken down just for stuff like that, like doing ACDC and then getting it blocked, getting copyright strike. So yeah, but we'll figure it out in the future. We'll all figure it out as a community.
Let us know. Yeah, let us know down there because we want to grow with you guys. So if that's something you want, let us know.
Yes, let us know.
Okay. Last question is a speed round by Nicole Perez. Now she asked like 10 questions in a row, a lot of questions, and she was like, I'm not sure if we can how many I can ask, but let me just ask all of them.
So we're going to answer
all of them. Yeah, let's do it.
So the first one is who's your favorite artist and why?
Led Zeppelin, I think Led Zeppelin.
That's fair, dude. That's a fair favorite artist. No one can really like hate
that. Was just one of my early inspirations. I have artists that I listen to a lot more now, but Led Zeppelin was like one of the ones that made me love rock and roll.
Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of obvious, but mine's definitely like Pink Floyd 100%. Yeah. I discovered them about 3 years ago, and just after everything I've heard in my life up to Pink Floyd, it's just like nothing's ever been like spiritually like the same.
Yeah, you're a better person for liking Pink Floyd.
I honestly feel like it just kind of like changed me like as an individual, just like hearing the perspective of these, just 100%. Question 2. Is rock your favorite music genre? So I feel like at the moment it definitely is like rock, classic rock, kind of like hard rock, maybe a little bit of like metal, like Black Sabbath, like that whole ring at the moment is my favorite. I feel like, but like I don't know like in the future if that always will be, but I feel like at the moment it definitely is for me.
So for me as a writer, my band is mostly rock music, but I write for mostly pop artists. So I mean, I listen to such a wide swath there.
Yeah.
I write for a couple country artists, so I have to listen to some country. It's definitely not my favorite genre, but I have to listen to it. So I mean, I think I don't really have one favorite. Like again, I was even talking about the jazz band as being like that is my go-to for having to study or having to get something done, any sort of work. So I don't know if rap is good too. Like I'm a fan of everything, so I don't know if I have a favorite genre.
Yeah, there's definitely like upsides to pretty much every genre. Like if you can't find like a good song in every genre, then you're probably not being like humble enough to just the art form itself. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a huge
fan
of
haven't
country.
Been exposed to the right people.
Yeah, like I'm not a huge fan of country, but probably like a good 5% of their songs are actually pretty good.
Yeah,
like a good
I know 5%, your dad. His dad,
5%.
His dad loves old country, so we go
100%.
karaokeing all the time.
Exactly.
Oh, we should do a karaoke video.
Oh, dude, we definitely should.
Like a vlog.
Let us know in the comments if you'd want to see like a vlog of me and him like just going and do karaoke at like a random karaoke bar.
I would like that.
That'd be pretty fun. All right, so we'll figure it out. All right, next question. Do you think pineapple on pizza is gross? So
no.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I'm a pretty humble guy, right?
Yeah.
So it was like a spring day of like 2016, right?
Yeah.
I walk up. I take a pineapple on Hawaiian pizza. I take a bite, and it was probably one of the most uncomfortable bites I've ever taken in my entire life. Dude, it was so obnoxious.
I mean, I understand it. I understand you not liking that.
But I respect that it exists, but like
you would never
get that shit away from me. You
So
know?
me, I am not picky at all with that sort of stuff. In fact, the more now I'm not always in the mood for. I'm very rarely in the mood. Like
Yeah.
I would probably never pick it.
My thing is,
But if it was there, I had like a Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizza with like pineapples on it, I'd be like definitely excited.
My thing is, I think it's just I don't like warm fruit. Like, so I've had trouble
What
getting
about pies.
No, exactly. So I've had trouble with trying to like enjoy pies. Like, so like apple pie, I like apple pie with like whipped cream, but like I don't enjoy the actual apple like chunks in the pie because it's like warm fruit.
It's more like,
but I like the flavor.
I like the pie crust.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
but I just can't do like warm fruit, like warm strawberries, warm cherries. I'm like, what? You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's just like a personal like deal.
Yeah,
you know? Okay. Do you prefer deep, meaningful songs or fun songs that you can just rock out to? The answer is both, dude.
Answer is
like,
both.
There's a time and a place to have like a very spiritual like calling out song of like a concept, like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like War Pigs, like a song about war. It's like serious business. You know what I mean? You can also rock out to it also. But then there are songs like, let's say, Boston, like rock and roll bands that we just did, which is just like a feel good like rock song. It's just like dumbass rock and roll. You're just like you're having a good time. You like roll the windows down your car. You're speeding a little bit at night. You're riding. You know what I mean?
It's definitely phases. Like I know,
it just depends.
Up until recently, I was in a phase where I just wanted bangers, like straight awesome songs, like great ones. Like again, like you were talking about. Mm-hmm. Recently, like the past like month or so, I've been really into sort of more thoughtful songs. So it just goes in season. It goes in waves.
It definitely just depends on the day. I definitely appreciate both.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's nothing wrong with somebody who just likes one or the other. Like some people, they're not like, they don't go to music for like this deep, meaningful, spiritual experience. They go to music just to feel good, to get out of their everyday life. So I feel like it's not fair to like ridicule people who only listen to like fun, you know, feel good music. But personally, I like both. You know. So boom. All right. Favorite band member from Queen. That's actually like so. If you asked me this like months ago, it would have been easy.
If like Freddie.
But honestly, I feel like fuck, dude.
Dude, I want to say Roger Taylor.
I like Brian May. I like Roger Taylor too. It's definitely not.
I gotta go Freddie.
I'll go Freddie. That's fair. But I feel like mine's like torn between Brian May and Roger Taylor.
Roger Taylor's like a close second.
Yeah, because when I saw the Somebody to Love live in Montreal and he's drumming and singing, like I was like, damn, dude.
He's so good.
You know, I feel like just in the end, I just like Brian May's hair and how he plays. Like he's just like iconic.
Like a mad scientist.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
And the PhD in astrophysics, like that's just kind of like so badass. Like Roger Taylor, I think he's a dentist, which that's cool too. But PhD in astrophysics, dude, like that gets me going, dude. That's awesome. Okay, so that's how I feel. All right, what is the breed, gender, and name of your cat? So I'm gonna tell you right now.
I don't know.
Perez, I have 3 cats in this house. Well, they're my mom's cats, but like I claim them all the time.
Yeah.
So we have Romeo, who's a male.
Who's the one you usually see on the bed.
Yeah, he's the one who's like in the past 3 weeks of videos. He's the one that was just chilling. That's Romeo. I don't know their breed. I'm really sorry. I don't know like that much about cats.
He's a cat.
I have a little one, a white one. Her name is Nala, like from Lion King. We're really cliche in this house. And then we have the black one, which is Juliet. So you have Romeo, Juliet, and Nala. Yeah. So you might see those 3. At some point, we'll do like a cat video. We'll just like literally like a 4-minute like look at my cats, you know. All right. And also we have a dog Buddy. You've probably seen Buddy on the bed like at some point. All right. Are you afraid of spiders? So I feel like I'm not afraid of spiders, but I'm afraid of them biting me. I guess if they're poisonous. I guess. But I'm not like afraid of them.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of them, but I definitely don't want them on me. Like if you're driving and you have a spider on you, that is 100%. Horrible.
No, 100%. It's like, but I don't hate their existence. Like if I see a spider in my house, I'm generally the kind of guy who would rather get like a sheet of paper, pick him up, and then put him outside. I definitely like.
Well, they kill all the shitty insects. Like they're still not.
Yeah, that's true. Like exactly. I wouldn't want to kill like something for no reason. Like you know, I feel like that like spiritually that's something like, I wouldn't prefer to do. You know, like kill this cockroach. I'm like, I mean, you can. I'm not gonna hate you if you kill it, but I wouldn't want to kill it personally. I'd rather just put it outside. You know. But I do get they can carry diseases and stuff, so I guess, you know, you could argue either, you know, whatever. But that's how I feel on it. Have you seen Captain Marvel yet? Parentheses, I have, all caps.
I have not.
So I have not.
Easy question.
So this is weird. This might sound weird, but I'm definitely, like, not a huge, like, superhero movie kind of guy. I think when I was younger, I liked Spider-Man a lot and stuff like that. But I think the concept of things like Superman, I've always hated the concept of Superman. Not like I respect the series, I respect like what it is, you know.
I mean, I can feel that.
But I feel like an invincible male is just kind of like.
Well, I think Captain Marvel.
I know Marvel's kryptonite.
But Captain Marvel's a woman.
Is it? I don't know anything about it. So I'm just saying, like, just like the ism of like superhero movies and stuff like that. It's like indestructible, man. What the heck, you know?
Yeah.
I get this kryptonite, but in the end, it's like I think I saw a Superman movie like a couple years ago, and there's like a 10-minute fight scene of punching. I'm like, why is he punching Superman? It's not gonna effing do anything.
Yeah.
This is pointless, you know. With that said,
True.
I do like respect the existence of the movies, but I have trouble like getting into them. I'm more into like realistic movies, like
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, like The Matrix, like great movie. So I think I just like movies like that. I guess Matrix is so realistic, bro.
Yeah, but not Lord of the Rings. Like you're like, I love realistic movies.
Come
Lord
on,
of the
man!
Rings.
Don't hate on Lord of the Rings, dude. Lord of the Rings is.
Oh, it's a great
shit.
movie, but it's not realistic.
It's like, I mean, minus like the
Minus
dragons
everything.
and
Yeah.
Okay,
You mean
know
the
what?
scenery is real.
You know what?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Point taken.
Was that the last one?
The number 10 is not a question, but please react to Save Me, Killer Queen, and or Fat Bottom Girls by Queen. You just got it. They're all amazing. K. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks for all of your guys' time.
Yeah, you guys were awesome.
For watching our videos.
Everybody
for
asking
sitting
questions
through this Q&A.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll do another one like at some point in the future.
Oh, yeah.
But this was fun. Just seeing like what you guys like were curious about. You know.
Yeah. And if you have more questions, leave them down in the description. And at some point we'll do another.
We'll hit them up.
Yeah.
With that said, we will see you guys on Wednesday with the Queen video. Guys have a fantastic day.